In this video, we're going to be converting a standard form linear equation into slope-intercept form so that we can graph it on the coordinate plane. Now we know that the equation that we're looking at here, 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 15, is a linear equation because both our x variable and our y variable are taken to an invisible power of 1. So I'll just put a power of 1 next to each variable. Now, what our goal here is to take this green standard form linear equation and convert it into slope-intercept form, where we have a y value by itself is going to be equal to mx plus b, or the slope times x plus the y-intercept. Now, the first step that we're going to take is we are going to rewrite our linear equation. And then we are simply going to subtract the x variables from each side of that equation. And so this will get our x variables on the right-hand side, leave our y variables on the left-hand side. So we've got a positive 3x, so I'm just going to subtract 3x from the left-hand side. What we do to one side, we've got to put on the other. And when we rewrite our equation, 3x minus 3x is going to give us 0x. Drop down the negative 2y, and that's going to equal negative 3x minus 15. I'll get rid of that 0. That's no longer a factor. Now the next thing we need to do is to manipulate negative 2y into a positive 1y. And the way that we're going to do that is we are going to divide every single term by the coefficient of y. Now I know sometimes we'll see it as dividing both sides of the equation by the coefficient of y, and this is correct. But what I want to focus on here is we are going to be dividing every single term by negative 2. And what we are doing is we are making both sides of that equation negative 2 times as small so that both sides remain balanced. Now, negative 2 divided by negative 2 is going to give us an invisible number 1 with our y variable. That's going to be equal to negative 3 divided by negative 2 is going to be a positive 3/2 x. Negative 15 divided by negative 2 is also going to become a positive. And we could put this as 7.5. We could express it as 7.5. I'm going to just leave it as 15 over 2. So we can take away that invisible number 1 in front of y, and we've got our y variable is equal to 3/2 x plus 15 over 2. And if we want to write that in a different format so we can understand what's going on, we can also say that y is equal to 1.5x plus 7.5. So there we've got it in fraction format and also decimal format. So now that we're going to take this, we're going to take a look at these graphs on Desmos and ensure that our original equation of 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 15 is in fact equal to our slope-intercept forms of y is equal to 1.5x plus 7.5. So we're looking at Desmos here in red with the highlighted equation on the left-hand side of the screen. We're showing that 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 15. And then in blue, we've got our standard form equation. Y is equal to 1.5x plus 7.5, or 3/2 x plus 15 over 2. As we toggle between both of these equations, we can see the graphs lie directly on top of each other, so they are equivalent. And they've got a y-intercept of 7.5, or 15/2. And we've also see that we've got a slope of 3 over 2.